TGIF was a program block that aired on ABC at various times in history, but it's most famous for its existence in the late 1980s and throughout the entirety of the 1990s. Immediately when you think TGIF, memorable family-oriented shows like Full House, Family Matters, Perfect Strangers, Boy Meets World, and so many others come to mind in a tidal wave of nostalgia. And then there were these shows that you might not remember quite so well. The following list are a series of programs that were once part of the TGIF block, but with significantly less Danny Tanner or Balki Bartokomous. So here we go with 10 often forgotten TGIF sitcoms. One major rule before I begin, this list includes shows from the original TGIF only, which ran from 1989 to 2000. Yes, TGIF has been rebooted several times since, but those shows are for another list. Also, this is not a complete list by any stretch. There are going to be a lot of shows you might say I forgot. I say more like there just might not have been so much to talk about. But nevertheless, here we go. TGIF. Yeah, that was really lame, I'm sorry. Number 10, Camp Wilder. This show's plot is formulaic, but the show stands out because it is also featuring one hell of a cast. On this short-lived TGIF series, Mary Page Keller plays a single woman raising her daughter in her parents' house after they die, while being legal guardian to her teenage siblings. This show featured many actors who would later become household names, including Tina Majorino as the daughter, Jay Moore and Hilary Swank as the friends, Jerry O'Connell as her brother, and a reoccurring role of the sexy bad boy played by noted method actor Jared Leto, who may or may not have used method acting to play a sexy bad boy. Number 9, Billy. The least successful show on this list, Billy had a quick run on TGIF in the winter of 1992. On this Head of the Class spinoff, Billy McGregor, played by the hilarious Billy Connolly, marries a single mother so he can get his green card, and, of course, hilarity ensues. What made this show so unique is its opening sequence, where the entire story is told in a hybrid still photo animation which almost looks like an early 2000s Neil Cicierega flash video. No matter what you thought of the series, the open was by far the most memorable part of the show. Number 8, On Our Own. This Miller Boyette show was short-lived but interesting because it featured a family of real siblings playing, well, siblings. On this show, Jordy, Jesse, Jock, Jay, Jerome, and Jimmy Jericho are played by real-life siblings Journey, Jussie, Jake, Jazz, Jockey, and JoJo Smollett, being raised by their older brother Josh, played by Ralph Lewis Harris. The show struggled even being in the magic slot between Family Matters and Step by Step in the winter of 1994. It only lasted 20 episodes before being canceled. On a completely unrelated note, I had a Subway sandwich for dinner last night and it was quite good. Chicken bacon ranch is my favorite. What an enjoyable, uneventful trip that was. Number 7, Muppets Tonight. Yep, even the Muppets were once part of TGIF. The Jim Henson created Muppets, including many of the classics like Kermit, Miss Piggy, Fozzie, and Gonzo, all returned, as well as a new series of Muppets. The show generally featured sketches where the Muppets would interact with a high-profile live-action host each week, including, but not limited to, the likes of Billy Crystal, Garth Brooks, and even Prince. Of course, then known as the artist formerly known as Prince. Unfortunately, the show suffered from low ratings and essentially became the basis of commentary from Statler and Waldorf. How meta. Number 6, Two of a Kind. Math is simple. Mary-Kate Olsen plus Ashley Olsen plus the 1990s equals lots of money. Of course, back when Full House needed an infant to play the role of Michelle, twins were needed due to child labor laws. But by the 1990s, the twins became the adorable pair that America just could not get enough of. And on this show, that's what they play. Twins. Albeit with very different personalities. Although this show was quickly forgotten about on TGIF, lasting only one season, it received a cult following and a resurgence on ABC Family in the 2000s. There have also been 40 books published as part of the two-of-a-kind canon. Considering who's involved and when, is any of this a real surprise? Number 5, Where I Live. An example of a show where good content means nothing if the viewers aren't there to watch it. Where I Live starred Dougie Doug and was loosely based on his life living in Harlem. While the show's content was critically acclaimed for its realism, it wasn't pulling in the TGIF audience. It was nearly canceled when a certain Bill Cosby stepped in as a consultant. Although today I would probably get shadow banned for saying that name on YouTube, it's sometimes easy to forget the unbelievable power that man had back in his heyday. Cosby helped keep the show alive for a second season, but it still met an untimely fate after only 21 episodes aired over 2 seasons. Number 4. Baby Talk. Because Look Who's Talking made so much money, we would be morons not to capitalize on the talking children craze of the early 1990s. On this show, Maggie Campbell, played by Julia Duffy, is raising a son voiced by Tony Danza, and her adventures of raising a prize-fighting taxi driver from Brooklyn. Or at least a son who sounds just like one. Somehow this lasted 35 episodes. So let us never forget that the movie it is inspired by, Look Who's Talking, was a gigantic success. And in 1989, it made $300 million on an $8 million budget. People freaking love talking babies. At least until Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2 destroyed the entire genre single-handedly, but the less said about that mess, the better. Number 3. Just the 10 of Us. A spin-off of the classic series Growing Pains, Just the 10 of Us was another crazy family dynamic sitcom. I'm starting to notice a pattern here, TGIF. On this series, Coach Lubbock goes to teach gym at an all-boys Catholic school while raising his 8 kids. It was a show that was popular, especially to those in large families who could relate. Although the show was canceled in 1990, it is one of the longest-running shows on this list. It was also part of the first season of TGIF briefly, sharing its 9:30 slot with the much less successful Free Spirit. Number 2. The Hughleys. This show about a black family moving to a predominantly white area would have been quite the talk of the town in the late 1990s, especially where I grew up. D.L. Hughley plays a glorified version of himself and is one of the kings of comedy along with Bernie Mac, Cedric the Entertainer, and Steve Harvey. This is one of my favorite stand-up comedy films, if not my favorite stand-up comedy film of all time. The Hughleys was funny, relatable, but also happened to arrive in the dying days of TGIF when Friday night TV dynamics were changing rapidly. So why was television viewed so differently at the turn of the millennium? That's a really good question, and one I could get into in depth at a later date. And the number 1 often forgotten show on TGIF? 2 Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. Easily the most successful show to make this list, this show isn't so much forgotten as much as it's forgotten as being part of TGIF. During the show's second season in 1999, 2 Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place aired on TGIF in the spring, sandwiched between episodes of Sabrina the Teenage Witch and also shortly before ditching the pizza place altogether. Richard Riccolo and Traylor Howard ended up having excellent careers outside of this show. As for the second of the 2 guys, Ryan Reynolds, he only made a few guest appearances on a few other shows, and that's really been the extent of his TV career. It's a shame because Ryan Reynolds seemed like a good kid, but I guess as we say when we're joking, time will tell on him. What? What's a Deadpool?